Raider Nation, what is going on? Coming to you guys tonight for one thing, and that is to talk about the comparison between Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota gets his first playing time because of a groin injury, by Derek Carr gets a little playing time after a loss. Now there's quite the debate going on. Who is the Raiders quarterback going forward? There's a lot of talking heads, media talking heads. You know how those things go, saying that Derek Carr has played his last snaps as a Raider. That is something very interesting that I've seen going around. So let's get into it. Let's hit this thing hard. And before we do, actually, make sure you guys visit blacksundayshop.com. Blacksundayshop.com has all the hottest new Raider design shirts. Get on there and get your Raiders gear and get things flowing. So like I said, Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota, who's the better quarterback and who should Raider Nation want? Let's get into it. And look, no matter what your opinion is on this, it doesn't matter if you want Derek. It doesn't matter if you want Marcus. If you're a Raider fan, you bleed silver and black, make sure you hit that thumbs up button right now. Click the subscribe. Hit the bell notifications for all my future videos because we'll be popping these things off weekly. So, quick comparison between the two, right? Who has the better arm? You know, Derek. Who has the better short to intermediate passing ability? Derek. Who's the better deep passer? Derek. Who's better with pre-snap adjustments? Who's better, picking up blitzes? Who's better reading the defense, making those calls, and getting our offense in the right position to succeed and be a top 10 offense as they were this year? It's obviously going to be Derek. Who's the better ball carrier? I'm going to say Marcus. Marcus looked pretty good carrying the ball, right? Who's better at extending plays? Yeah, you could probably lean Marcus, but it's very debatable now because Derek's actually been really good at extending plays too under pressure. Who's the better leader in the locker room, on the sideline, in the huddle? It's going to be Derek. He's obviously the hardest worker, and you lead by example too, especially whenever you're a leader. Who runs the 2-minute offense better? I'm going to say Derek. I mean, I don't think there's many quarterbacks in the NFL that run the 2-minute offense better than Derek, because whenever it comes down to crunch time and you need either a game-winning drive or something before half, or you don't have much time left, you spread that offense out and Derek's slinging it. And obviously I think, the better that, translates to the better comeback player. That's going to be Derek. I'd say it's pretty lopsided. And this is no knock on Marcus. Look, but the fact of the matter is that Derek is the franchise quarterback, and Marcus, I mean, he's a great backup. He's a great backup. I came into the season saying right off the bat as soon as we signed him, Marcus Mariota is the best backup in the league. I'm going to say whenever it comes to having the best quarterback duo, I'm going to say the Raiders got it. You start to look at the Drew Brees, Taysom Hill stuff. Whenever Derek went out the other day and Marcus Mariota had come in, he kept that game afloat. I mean, he kept us in it. He kept our hopes alive, and it was actually fun to watch a backup quarterback for once. We don't usually get that, right? It wasn't Matt McGloin out there, right? It wasn't guys like that. It was Marcus Mariota out there making plays and being a little bit different, being a ball carrier, going out there sacrificing his body. So, like I said, Derek Carr, in my opinion, comparison is our franchise quarterback compared to a backup that is still going to be competing for a starting job elsewhere, let alone for the Raiders. So, getting into Derek Carr, I'm going to single these guys out just a little bit right now, and that's, Derek Carr, I think, has been a top 10 quarterback easily this season. Pretty much easily. I mean, towards the tail end, the team's had a little bit of a collapse here in this 5-game stretch. We still have 2 games to go, but going 1-4 in the last 5 games, it's a little bit of a collapse. Is it on Derek Carr? No. Is it on the entire team? Yes. Is he part of the entire team? Yes. So he can take some heat for that. But he has taken command of this offense, and he's made big throws whenever we needed him. He's taken the worst defense in the NFL, which is really 29th, 30th, 31st, 32nd in every single category on defense, and we've somehow produced 7+ wins with this offense. Who does that go to? I think that goes to the leader, especially whenever it comes to, you start to look at how the rushing attack has fallen off. The defense has fallen off. We fired a defensive coordinator. The only thing that we're doing right on this offense is having a solid passing attack, and that's even with, I don't want to say a shaky wide receiver room, but with Ruggs being gone, Nelson Aguilar being all over the place, still not having a ton of depth, Hunter Renfrow getting hurt, things like that. I don't know. It's hard to say, but for me, top 10 quarterback easily comes out of my mouth. Now, I'd say he's also improved on his legs, right? He's extended plays, like I said earlier. That's what makes it debatable. He's already set a career high in rushing yards and a career high in first downs picked up with his legs. Like I said, that's already with, we've played 14 games. Technically for him, it's really only a little over 13. He's already set a career high in rushing yards and first downs picked up with his legs, which is amazing. Statistically, he sits top 10 in completion percentage. Shocker. He's top 10 in passer rating, top 10 in touchdowns of 20 or more yards, which is great, being a top 10 quarterback in touchdowns of 20 or more yards, and being top 10 in passer rating on passes that are targeted 20 plus yards down the field. That's exactly what we looked for, Derek to take that next step this year, was to go out there, take those deep shots whenever we needed to, and he's absolutely done that and probably exceeded my expectations even. So heading into week 15 before injury, right? Derek Carr was leading all other NFL quarterbacks on third down passing yards. The Raiders still have the second highest third down conversion rate in the NFL, and those are key downs that you want your quarterback to perform on. That's whenever you go out there and you get all these different looks and you put them in situations, you make those adjustments for your offense to make sure you can pick up the first down on third down, and the Raiders have been the second best at that this year. He's even a perfect 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions inside the 5-yard line this year. And that's a place that I feel even John Gruden has struggled with. So for him to, be able to get in there and not turn the ball over, even when our offensive play calling, I feel like in the red zone has been definitely shaky towards the second half of this season, is good. Now, the thing that people are going to complain about, and we've heard this, last 2-3 years, he throws the ball away too much. Well, he's actually thrown the ball away only 15 times this year, and that's good, for about one a game. And that's 18th most in the NFL. So 17 other quarterbacks in the NFL throw the ball away more, including Mahomes, Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield. They all throw the ball away more. So that narrative's old, right? Fumbles. I get it. Fumbles. Okay. Something to work on. He's had 11 fumbles. Well, Taysom Hill, who gets the ball a lot less, he's had 10. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, they've had 9. Now, it's not the end of the world, but I definitely do agree it's something that he needs to clean up, and that's something that I know he's going to, be working on. And whenever you get the offensive line back together like they have, when you get Trent Brown back in the lineup and pass protection gets back to being like A1, like it should be, a top 5 offensive line unit, whenever it gets back to being like that and you don't have to worry about all that pressure and he can stay looking down the field, taking those shots down the field like he's used to, then those fumbles start to go away. Then they'll bring up the dink and dunk. The dink and dunk in the West Coast offense, that's the entire point. The West Coast offense it thrives off of high percentage throws. Get the ball moving, get momentum going. But still, really, whenever it comes down to it, like I said, we're top 10 in every key major category. When it comes to yards per drive success rate, points per drive, time of possession. Derek still sits middle of the pack whenever it comes to intended air yards, right next to Aaron Rodgers, Ryan Tannehill, Kyler Murray, right where he needs to be, right, to be a good, balanced quarterback. And then the final thing their fans always complain about, and every fan does this, not just Raiders fans, and that's his bad throws. Whenever he has a little off target, misses a guy, overthrown, whatever, you rip him for it. Every quarterback has bad throws. And to compare what you guys are watching on Sunday to the rest of the NFL, Derek Carr literally leads the league in on-target passes, right? So nobody has a higher percentage of passes to be on target. And no, that's not completion percentage. This is talking about being on target, overthrown, hitting the wide receiver in the hands, or making it a catchable ball. No other quarterback puts it right on the money more than Derek Carr does. Now to flip over to single out the other guy. This is Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota, like I said, I've said it all year, greatest backup in the league. He came in last week, played great. I would say there's not too many backup quarterbacks in the league that could have done that. But still, also, we were playing the Chargers. A Chargers team that is very beatable, a Chargers team that crumbles at the end of games, and we still lost. That game is not something that we go out and you don't hang your hat on that game. We lost to a 4-win team, okay? I love the way that Marcus played, but I think it showed more glaring issues with our offense as a whole, like getting conservative, running these little rollouts at the goal line. We did the same thing. Marcus did the same thing. We get down inside the red zone in these key situations. We roll the quarterback out towards the pylon, and we look for someone like a Jason Witten or our fullback. No offense, even Alec Ingold, man, a heck of a playmaker. But you're going for like your big-time skill positions, right? Hey, if you can get a guy open, I expect him to make the play. But I'm looking for Darren Waller, right? Let's get Brian Edwards involved. Nelson Aguilar, where's he at? Josh Jacobs is a beast. He can do anything. So, get those guys involved. Get them targets. Get them going. I don't see how we can't be more versatile in the red zone whenever it comes to things like those. But like I said, he's dominated as a ball carrier. And that's what had me oohing and awing during our game. He looked good. Now, how long can we expect him to do that, though? Whenever you're picking your quarterback going forward, are you going to pick Derek Carr, who's proven how many career games has he missed in the last few years? 1, 2, 3 max? In his entire career, basically, right? So how long can Marcus Mariota go playing like that? He was already inactive, 12 weeks for injuring himself in practice. So he already missed 3/4 of the season for we don't even know what happened, right? It was like a strained bicep or something with his throwing arm. I know that. Something was a little off, right? How did that happen? Who knows? So do we expect him to play a full 16 games the way he was last time? Yeah, that was great. Marcus Mariota's actually, he's honestly out there playing for his job. And, I mean, he's definitely not a lock to even have, a starting job next year. There's very many options that we can do with Marcus Mariota. But the way that he played last week is not something that we can expect him to be able to do all 16 games and still be available all 16 games. But Marcus is still going out there trying to prove that he can be a starting quarterback somewhere. So he led the team in 88 rushing yards. Had a couple great throws, I would say. A few shaky ones. There's a couple in there. Could add a couple more picks. He had the one big pick. But still, he landed a couple on the money. That first one to Darren Waller had me amped. Like, Marcus was out there. He was looking a little bit better as a passer than I remember him in the past. So he's developed a little bit in that sense. But still, there's a lot of decision-making out there, and that can also come with the chemistry. If he played a little bit more of the first-team offense, he might be a little bit better out there with some of these guys. But even missing, like, Zay Jones, that interception to Zay Jones, a little behind Zay Jones, he should have chemistry with Zay because that's who he's been practicing with at second team is number 12. So, in my opinion, there's a lot of improving to do for Marcus to win his starting job, let alone the Raiders. But then again, I'll gladly keep him as a backup in the NFL. So, in my opinion, it's not even close. Drop it in the comments who you think is the Raiders quarterback going forward, who you prefer to be the guy, number 4, number 8. Go ahead and comment Derek Carr or Marcus Mariota. Let me know in the comments. Give me your thoughts. Give me your disagreements. But for me, Derek Carr's my quarterback. Number 4 has been the dude that, put on a show, top 10 guy. And if we had more wins and we had a decent little bit, middle of the pack defense that put some things together and we, were able to put together 9, 10 wins, get in the playoffs, Derek Carr would be in the MVP conversation. But you can't do that unless your entire football team's winning football games. So until next time, I guess, right? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, hit those bell notifications so you know all my next videos coming up. And Raider Nation, I will see you guys later.